Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to talk to you about storage of precious metals, and I wanted to show you a couple of tricks that I do to keep my precious metals looking as best as they can. So for those of you that have been watching my channel for any length of time, you'll know that this is my setup. This is a bit of a kind of behind the scenes setup. You can see I've got my light diffuser there. This is my backdrop for when I do filming, and we're at a slightly different angle now, and that is because I wanted to fit more in the camera and make a bit of a kind of different video for you. So first thing that I would say is whenever you order a new pair of shoes or trainers, or if your wife gets a new handbag or anything like that, you quite often find these things. Is it going to focus? In the bags and the boxes. Even if you buy a new watch, these sometimes come in them. Many different things you buy, these come in, and what these are is silica gel, and what they are is it basically absorbs the moisture. So when you're buying a new consumer item, they quite often put these little sachets in with them just to suck up any moisture and stop it from kind of molding or anything like that. Now, never ever throw these away. These are great to store in your safes, in your shoe boxes, in your Tupperwares, whatever you put your precious metals in, chuck a few of these in with them. And that's what I've been doing since I've been stacking, really, since I started. And I really noticed a difference. You don't get that kind of musky smell if you've kind of opened a box that's been closed for a while. It keeps away any moisture, keeps away any condensation. It's just really helpful. So definitely don't throw these away. Keep these. These are great. They come in really handy. Now, the second bit of advice would be get yourself some Tupperwares, because these are airtight, and the less air that touches your silver, the slower it will take to tarnish. And obviously, if you want your coins to tarnish, leave them out and then they'll tarnish quicker. If you want to keep them looking as shiny as possible for as long as possible, then get yourself some sort of airtight container. Even if they're in capsules, I still like to keep them in this as well. It's easier for storage as well, instead of having loads of individual capsules and coins and bits and pieces. So this is my YouTube stack. I do add to this here and there, but it tends to stay roughly the same amount. If because I store it in this smaller Tupperware, I like it all to fit in here nicely, so it's easier to kind of hide away and get out quickly when I want to film videos. Every now and then I'll change up the items, so I'll put these away into the long-term stack, either store them off site, on site, whichever location I decide to put them in, and then I'll replace it with something else. This one's a toned maple. Sometimes you see that in the YouTube stack, sometimes you don't. It just depends if it's been put away into the long-term stack or not. So I do rotate things, but this is roughly the amount of silver that I have to hand at any one time. I don't like having too much silver on my property at any one time. I just like having a small amount so that I'm able to make videos when I need to. So this is the latest addition to the YouTube stack. I've showcased it in a few videos. Absolutely gorgeous bar. It was going to go away into the long-term stack, but I thought, how could I put her away and not show her off on videos? So she's made her way into this YouTube stack. So the point of this video is to kind of show you how I store it away. In my opinion, the best way to make your precious metals stay looking as good for as long as possible. So it's really simple. Like I said, you need to get yourself some of these. There's no point buying these. You get these anywhere. Like I said, looking, even if you've got a watch and you don't think you've got one of these in there, look in your watch box that's sitting in your cupboard. Look underneath where the watch was sitting, and you might find one of these underneath, like the inlay of the box and stuff like that. Looking, your partner might have a handbag and she hasn't looked at all the inside pockets inside or in the corners. Like, these are knocking around everywhere. So let's just make a little bit of space here. So all I do, get myself a Tupperware, and then I literally just put the metals in there. I have done a video on this before, but I just wanted to do a more in-depth one. And then I've got some cut up bubble wrap, all the same size roughly, and then I just literally layer it like that. So it's really simple. Then I'll do another layer of bubble wrap, and that's essentially all I do to look after these coins. I'm just putting them in a airtight container with some bubble wrap separating the coins. Now, this isn't going to be carried around with me or anything, so it doesn't have to be too compact. It's not like it's going to be rattling around or anything. It's just kind of to kind of separate them, protect them a little bit. And this is really all there is to it. Sometimes people overthink their storage of precious metals, and in the day, silver's silver, unless it's a proof coin that comes in its own box anyway. As long as you're handling it with care and not chucking it around, and you're not leaving it in the rain so it's just gonna tarnish really quickly, this is really all there is to it. This thing here, like I showed you a minute ago, pop that in there as well, put that in the mix. Any moisture that's come off your hands or any moisture that's built up on the coins while they've been out, that will absorb it. That's not going to work if the coins are soaked. If you drop that in the sink or something, for example, that's not what these are for. These are to kind of take away small amounts of moisture. So obviously you're not going to be putting coins away that are really wet. It's just if you get a little bit of moisture from your hands or just from like condensation from the air, this is strong enough to absorb that. So really, really simple, small little container there. Final layer, put her back in a plastic container as well. She goes on top, and then the top goes on, and that seals nicely, nice and compact. Nothing's getting squashed or damaged. It's just nice and compact. And like I said, this is airtight as well. Really easy to do, and you've got probably £1,000. I'm not really sure. You'll have to try and work it out, but maybe £1,000 worth of silver in a small container like that. So yeah, really, really easy to do. This can literally go anywhere. You could just, there you go, gone. So it really is that simple. Now, never ever store your silver all in one place, because if someone finds that, they find your whole stack. But just be creative, and you don't need to overthink it. So that's my advice. Like I said, it's a bit different for me because I've got a YouTube channel, so I like to have a little bit of silver to hand just so I can make videos quicker. But that's how I kind of store it. And you can imagine in a bigger kind of situation, you just have bigger Tupperwares, bigger cuts of bubble wrap, a few more of those gel sachets, and then yeah, you can just stack it in a safe wherever you want. Put one in the loft, one under your bed, one at your mum's house, one at your friend's house, wherever you want. So just be creative with your storage. So as always, thanks very much for watching my videos, and I hope you have a nice day.